And it takes some discipline to not go, and then you got to go back and think, okay, now how do we look at this through the prism of comedy and or action or drama?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that was Disney.
Disney knew I was about to get to the good stuff.
Esse Wolverine decepcionou o mundo dele inteiro.
So, Hugh, I don't know if you remember that. We first talked many times we talked about Wolverine 24 years ago.
Oh,
On the set of the first X-Men movie back in Toronto.
and they said we'd never make it.
Yeah.
Both of us. We're here.
Really defied.
It was on the set. It was.
I was on the set, yeah. And always tentacle. Yeah, the beer. And you have to find the character on the 21st century, and until the last ride, it was on Logan. So my question is, what was it about Wolverine that you said, I still have a story to tell on this character, and is Deadpool and Wolverine could be the last ride?
I saw Deadpool 1, and we'd already talked about it. The fans had already talked about it. I knew how perfect these characters were, but the moment I saw what Ryan was doing with the character in that film, literally from that opening sequence, I was like, oh, this is powerful. That is something that I've never done before. And I just announced that I was done. So part of me was like, missed the boat. And, you know, I've said I'm out, so I've got to be out, you know. But it was really a couple of years ago, I was like, I really do want to do it. It was just something new. It was a dynamic that was new, not only for the characters, also just Ryan and I have been trying to work together for so long. Again, you know, since it's been 17 years. We're such great friends, and I just thought it's just a completely different side of Wolverine. It's like going to highlight a whole side of him that I think fans will love, that I'll love to play, and honestly, I feel invigorated. So I'm so loving playing it. I'm so love this experience. I'm so proud of the movie. And in terms of the future, let's just go as far as July 26. That's about it. Oh, 25. July 25.
Yeah, that's about it.
Oi, fofucho. Eu preciso que você venha comigo agora.
Olha, moça, não tô interessado.
Beleza, mas eu tô super apressado, então levanta e vambora, vamos? As garras brocharam? É comum em Wolverines depois dos 40.
Não vai querer isso.
A não ser que queira respirar fundo por buraco na testa, eu sugiro que reconsidere.
So, Ryan, when we saw this first 40 minutes of the movie, and there's that search for Wolverine scene, and I'm a lifelong comic book fan, so I got all the references.
Yeah.
And but what I think it's great is that people who are not fans, they were really excited about it. So, when you have the general audience, and you have also this big chunk of fan base, and you try to please them both. So today, what is the secret sauce for doing superhero movies in cinemas today?
I think they're generally acknowledging and playing with the cultural landscape in some way. You know, usually, I mean, God, they've helped shape much of the cultural landscape, at least in the way we imbibe movies and characters these days. And I think the X-Men kind of world has gotten really right is how flawed they are. I think, but when I was writing, you write for the general audience, but then you also write for yourself, and you write for sometimes there are moments in there that are just for a certain group of people that will appreciate it. And I think that it's important to acknowledge both, you know. And then oftentimes it's the holy grail is when it just, you know, obviously it's just working for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a comic book fluent comic book or not. You should be able to come to a movie like this and experience it holistically without having any kind of previous concern or worry about the other movies. And you should feel like you're coming to a movie that isn't just, at least for Deadpool and Wolverine, that isn't designed as a commercial for a future movie. Deadpool and Wolverine is a complete film and a complete experience. So when people, come to the theater, they get to walk out with that experience.
Ai, fiquei todo molhadinho agora.
And you did two Deadpool movies that were R-rated, and Logan was R-rated. But now it's a Disney movie. So apart from the things that we saw in the trailer, that Feige said was no limits, off limits, what were the boundaries that you guys had that you couldn't cross, or did you have a lot of leeway that you said maybe we shouldn't do this, but then you could?
Well, you have a take on this, but I also, let me start with by saying that, you know, the R rating isn't exploited. Like, we don't, you know, we're not using an R rating to just like say, oh, now we're going to do this absolutely. But it has to service the story. It's the same thing when we're writing the script. It's you're not writing even a comedy. You first write the story. And it takes some discipline to not go, and then you got to go back and think, okay, now how do we look at this through the prism of comedy and or action or drama?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
That was Disney.
Disney knew I was about to get to the good stuff. Anyway, that's where we buried the body. You know,
It's amazing no one knows.
it's right under their nose the whole time.
Nobody has a clue.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Well, now you know. It's how it's run.
But you heard it here first, and
And it's not even on tape, so
what? Oh,
nobody
right.
will believe.
yeah. Someone will have it. Someone's always recording. Great. So the last thing I'll say just about that is you know we wrote the movie as a Deadpool and Wolverine, a long-awaited Deadpool and Wolverine adventure, something that we want to do forever. The movie's intensely emotional, but it's built on the foundation and of joy. Ultimately, that's what it is. It's joy. We want people to walk out of the theater like they've just had the best time of their lives.
Qual